Welcome to Last Minutes on CCTV. For the second year in a row, we actually did this last year with a group of the class of 2021. They were all wearing masks last year, so it was not so easy to hear them. This year we're mask free, and we're talking with members of the class of 2022 about what it was like to be a high school senior in the era of COVID or just coming out of it. And this is going to be a really interesting conversation. I want to introduce our panelists here. This is Shane Hewick from Cadillac High School. This is Eric Williams from Marion High School. This is Kimberly Sewell from Cadillac High School, and Skylar Garlitz from Cadillac Innovation High School. And we are going to have a little conversation here. So I think we're probably going to save the most serious question for the end. But one of the questions that was given to us by Morgan, who as of this taping is out on his senior trip, but he wanted to know, what was your favorite year in high school and why? Shane, we'll start with you.
Honestly, my senior year is probably the best one I could have had. Everything just kind of fell into place finally, and there was no more confusion. It was just finally it's over.
Is that because, does it have a lot to do with the fact that we're a year and a half, well, less than that, but free of COVID?
Yeah, also that. COVID was not fun.
Yeah. Your favorite year in high school?
It's probably was my junior year because we didn't have much school and I got to play a lot more video games, and most of my friends were still in high school, so every day was fun.
So we're going to ask a little bit more about that as we go along. Kim Sewell, how about your favorite year in high school?
Probably my senior year, just because of the fact that it wasn't I don't know how to put it. It wasn't as confusing.
Okay.
Going through classes and everything, you just kind of knew what to do.
Because it was your fourth year in high school, maybe you were more prepared for it?
You just kind of had it figured out at that point.
Okay. Skylar?
I think mine was definitely my sophomore year.
10th grade?
Yeah.
Why?
Wow.
I was really into a lot of clubs back then, and I was really into the theater community, and I was doing a lot with the community, so I think that was a big part of my sophomore year.
And your sophomore year was the one that was cut short by a couple months.
But the beginning of my sophomore year was one of the greatest years of high school, I think, for me. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we ruined it for you. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. So this group is in the digital media production class at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center, and this question is actually specific to digital media production. So Caitlin Gottleber, who is in the control room, and she's on our crew right now, wanted to know a long-lasting memory that you have made in digital media production. And Sky, we'll start with you.
Oh my gosh. I think the beginning of this year, working with the first years, getting to know them and introducing them with the camera, I felt so special, being one of the second years that was allowed to show the first years how to work the camera. And I thought that was really fun and cool. I like telling people, not telling people what to do, but but showing them something that I'm passionate about, I thought that was pretty great.
Kim's experience is a little unique from the rest of them in that she is a senior, but she's a first year in DMP. And I will say I wish we had you as a junior. But so what, any special memories from digital media production for you?
Probably just being able to make the videos. That was just really fun. Because I didn't know what exactly you did. I knew we made stuff, but I didn't know exactly how. So getting to learn how to do it and what to do, I thought that was really fun.
I think that's the best part about career technical education is the hands-on aspect of it. Eric Williams, how about you?
My favorite thing I remember is it was with Shane when we were making a video, and we had to make I think it was a cup fill up, and I had to pour liquid in it, and we tried to do it, and the first time it went everywhere. Maybe this much landed in the cup when I poured that much in it. Yeah.
What was the premise of that video?
It was the Thor Ragnarok reshoot scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
He's sitting there, and I wouldn't go to pour it. It just goes. And
This is the cup completely.
Were you using like the camera to look?
Nope.
No.
I was like, okay, ready, hit go. Well,
Were you wearing your glasses?
yeah. Yes, I was.
Shane, how about you? Long-lasting memory you made in this class?
Other than that one, I'd probably have to say like last year when Cadillac was doing that blue and gold day stuff where like half the students would go to school and half the students wouldn't. It was when I wouldn't go to school, but I would still come to the CTC and I would show up before everybody else, and like just like the quietness of the classroom just felt so weird and different to me.
Because we're a pretty boisterous group.
Oh
Usually.
yeah, definitely.
So, well, I'm going to go off script here. So, quiet classroom or noisy classroom? Shane.
I like the peacefulness of the quiet classroom, but I gotta say my favorite is when the classroom is noisy and full of life.
How about you?
Quiet.
You like quiet?
Yep.
Are you kind of a quiet at home type of guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And our classroom is never quiet.
Our classroom is not quiet. No, we're working, but we're noisy when we do it. How about you? Would you prefer it quiet or noisy in the classroom?
I like it quiet, but it's also like enjoyable when it's like noisy and chaotic.
Okay.
I
How
think
about you, Sky?
I think I like it when it's louder. I mean, I feel like it's really awkward when we're all just working at our computers and it's quiet. So I like when we're all like in groups, storyboarding and stuff, being a little bit rowdy. I think that's fun.
I would tend to agree. Our classroom is not like your typical classroom. I think the creative process is loud by nature. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so we're going to get a little bit serious now. So all of your 10th grade years, the last couple of months was wiped out. And then your 11th grade year, I don't know how it was handled in Marion, but at least here in Cadillac, you went one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off. It was in Cadillac, it was separated into like a blue group and a gold group, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID-19, was learning by a screen at home good for you or bad for you? And I'll start with Shane.
It sucked, honestly. Like, a lot of people always said that, like, oh, they're at home, they're in their jammies, they're all comfortable. It wasn't comfortable. Like, there were way too many distractions, and like, just I have to be in that school setting to be able to learn. It was just very hard.
I think that is very, very important. I think there's a lot of adults who thought the kids had it easy, and they didn't. I mean, in many cases, you guys you're social animals. You want to be around people. You want to be around other people. Eric, you might have a different perspective on this based on what you just answered earlier. So, was the COVID-19 era and learning at home good or bad for you, and why?
If I wanted to do my work, it was awesome. But when you have a $2,000 computer sitting in front of you with video games, I never got work done. I would put my Google Meets up on one monitor and then play video games on the other one.
I actually remember during one of like our meets in DMP, I started playing Minecraft.
I would do that too.
We always had the suspicion while we had you guys on screen that you weren't like 100% paying attention to us.
I
We're
had you guys
digital
on mute.
media
I
students.
would mute you guys and then just play.
Okay. So,
The secrets are revealed.
I know. So, good or bad, or a little mix of both for you then?
A little mix of both, because now I have to take an Algebra 2 class again, but I had a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, and that's another thing we'll get to. So, Kim Sewell, COVID-19, learning at home, good or bad for you?
I liked being away from people. That was really nice. The grades we ain't gonna talk about that.
Actually, we are, because
No, we're not.
that's another question.
No,
We will.
we aren't gonna talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, like I enjoyed being away from people and just like waking up whatever time I wanted, doing my work, or going all day without doing it, and then just popping on when I felt like it, and then doing my work. But then it was also like boring because I had nothing to do all day.
Okay, so the non-structured aspect of it,
Yes.
was that good or bad? That was good for you? You were okay?
Yes.
Being able to do things on your own time?
Yes.
Okay. So some seniors did not like that at all. How about you, Sky? How did...
I actually hated it. The only thing I liked about it is that I had a bunch of free time, so I could hang out with my friends whenever I wanted to, and I did a lot. I hung out with my friends like almost every day, but I hated it because I hated doing online schoolwork. So,
do we have? I'll ask the crew. Do we have time for another question here, or are we wanting to take a break? Okay. We are going to take a break, and I have a few more questions I want to ask this group, but we'll be right back on Last Minutes on CCTV. Thanks for coming back. It is Last Minutes here on CCTV. The second time we have done this. We did it last year. We're glad to do it again. Different perspective this year with the students in the class of 2022, with them being a little outside of the COVID era, even though we're still sort of in it. But one thing I wanted to cover was instances of anxiety and depression during COVID-19. Kind of a downer of a question, but I think it's very valid. Was your mental health better or worse, COVID-19? And I'll start with Shane.
Well, it did take a turn down, but I think that's what I needed, because like I am in a better place mentally now than I have ever been in my life. So.
Okay. So, in some ways, it was a good thing for you, and now as a senior,
Yeah.
You're saying. Okay. Eric.
During COVID, I think I didn't really deal with it because I was just at home and I just talked to people I wanted and I was just playing video games, so I was really happy all the time. I think when we came back to school was when it took a little bit more downhill, but for the most part, it was good during COVID.
Okay. How about you? Mental health. Were you in a good place or a bad place?
I mean, like, it was pretty fine, but like when I got back to school, I noticed how my anxiety was a little worse from like not having as much social interaction with other people, because I mainly only talk to like one or two people
Okay.
anyway. So
All
like,
right.
yeah.
That's interesting that it would be worse when you came back because you weren't around people. Sky.
I agree with Kim. I struggled a lot with coming to school after that. Like, I would skip days because my anxiety would be so high. So I think it was like,
Okay. And that's really important that, the message gets out there that this was not a great thing for high school students. I'll start with you, Sky. If you had one thing you could change about your high school experience, what would that be and why?
oh my gosh.
I did not reveal these questions
I
to
know.
this panel beforehand because I wanted an honest answer. So
I think freshman year, I wish I would have put more into my grades.
Okay.
I feel like I was a really bad slacker freshman year, and I wish I would have put more into it, because then it would have made my high school career just smooth right along, but nope.
how about you, Kim?
I'm kind of going to have to agree with Sky because of the fact that, like, when it was, like, freshman and sophomore year, I kind of, like, didn't care so much about the grades a little bit. But then as it hit, like, junior and senior year, I cared a little more because it was closer to graduation. All I cared about was the fact I needed to pass the classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One thing you could change about your high school experience?
It's probably my freshman year of, like, I was trying to fit into groups that, like, it wasn't meant, like, I shouldn't have been in. So I was wasting and like, just trying to be in groups of people. It's like, looking back, it's like, why? And then now I got my group of friends where it's like, okay, this is way better than, yeah.
You find your people along the way. That's what my mom always says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think in a career technical education class, you find people who think a lot like you, and
Yeah.
you're gonna find friends that maybe start friendships that will last a very, very long time in our class. So, Shane, they're laughing at me. One thing you could change about your high school experience, if you had a do-over, what would it be?
I wish I would have taken some kind of like music class, like either choir or band, because like I've always wanted to play an instrument, but like don't shake your head at me.
It's not that fun, okay?
I know, but like I'm so musically inept now that I can't even understand music.
Okay. Next question. Do you have a vision for your life post-graduation? Knowing that the path can change sometimes, do you have a vision of what you would like to do?
Well, I do plan on going to CMU. I'm going into photojournalism, and I talked to you before about it, but like I want to have my own news network, and I want to call it All the Good Things, a news station that covers all the good in the world.
Eric Williams, any ideas?
Well, yeah, like I want to be working right away, and then I want to do something with like video games, more like the competitive side of it, either coaching or working with a competitive team, doing something with that.
Okay. Kim?
I want to get a job after I graduate, but I really want to travel because I like to see new places.
Okay. Skylar?
I think I agree with Kim as well. I want to travel, but I think there's a lot of things that I have already achieved that I just kind of like, I don't know, fly by the seat of my pants and see what happens. That's what I've always done though. So just kind of see what happens.
So as of this taping, there's just a couple weeks left of school for these guys. So, you know, they've had the routine for the last 13 years. Wake up in the morning, go to school, go home, and follow that routine. So that routine is about to change. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you this, Skylar, are you ready?
Oh. I don't know. I feel like my motivation is gonna go downhill, but I'm kind of excited because I'm excited for summertime. I'm excited for like summertime activities, like camping and stuff. But I don't know, maybe I'll go full time at my job and hopefully it won't be that bad. So I think I'll be okay.
How about you? Scared? Ready? Kim, what do you think?
I'm excited to not have to get ready for school in the fall.
Okay.
To not have to wake up at 5 or 4 a.m. again.
And to have that summer that is always way too short. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready to be dragged kicking and screaming into adulthood, Eric?
I'm honestly am. Like, I work third shift, so I don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. I wake up at 9 p.m. to go to work. So I can't wait to wake up late.
Shane?
Oh, I'm way more than excited to get out of this constant loop of school. Like, I've been waiting for this. This is like one of the things from freshman year, just like, I'm ready to get out of this.
And then jump right back into it.
Yeah.
College is different, though.
Yeah.
College is different. It's way different. And I will tell you, you are going to have instructors in college who are not going to hound you to get your work in because you're paying for it, and it's no skin off their teeth if you don't get your work in. So you gotta think about that. All right, last question. So think of your 11th grade self, Shane, and give advice to future high school seniors. What would you say? How to be successful as a 12th grader?
Start taking care of yourself. Like, 11-year-old me didn't really care what I looked like, didn't care about my teeth or about my body, and just like, once I started that my senior year, I started feeling way better about myself. So I just tell them, that's something I would tell even younger me, is just start taking care of your body.
What gave you that confidence? What brought it on?
I don't know, it just like,
Just the switch turned on?
Yeah, just the switch turned on. I was like, I'm tired of being like this. I'm tired of being sad and fat. And so I decided sad and fat is not the way I want to be. So
Shane, you're not fat.
I weigh way more than I look. And it's not muscle, I promise.
It's all that Taco Bell.
Way less in that case.
Advice to be a successful senior to an 11th grader or anyone else in high school.
I like Shane's, but like find something that you can rely on every day or to do, or like once in a while. Because like with video games, if I didn't have video games, I wouldn't make it through my senior year or anything, even high school. But it gives you something that you can rely on and just do your work for. Because like if I don't do my work, I can't play video games, or if I know some people do sports, you can't. If you don't do your work, you can't do sports.
Got it? I like that answer. Kim, advice to be a successful high school senior.
I don't know. I'm suffering.
Are
I'm
you?
surviving.
You're
It's
just
okay.
surviving from day to day?
I am.
Okay.
There is no tip. I'm just
Okay.
going with it.
Just go with it.
Just go with
Just
it.
go with it. That's
Don't
good
drop
advice.
out. Don't drop out yet.
Oh, don't
You're
drop out.
Don't drop out yet.
Yeah, don't do that.
You said yet. Don't drop out at all.
Don't drop out.
Not at all.
Not yet.
All right, Sky. Advice to be a successful high school senior.
I think don't hang on to your friend group so much. You know, a lot of things are gonna happen and you might lose all of those people in an instant and things might change. And I think you should always be open to new people and like new friendships. I had a huge fallout with a big group of people this year, and I think opening up to like a different group is good and it might lead you to different opportunities. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Taking a look here at my list of questions, I think. All right. We have about a minute left. Best lesson you will take from your high school years. Actually, I'll start with you, Sky.
Oh no.
Best lesson from
Best-
your high school years.
Best lesson?
Yeah.
Like school lesson or like, I don't know, take notes in classes. I learned that junior year. If I take notes in classes, then I learn more and I achieve more. I don't know, I just get better grades that way too, so.
Quick answer, Kim. Best lesson.
Try.
Try. Perfect. Best lesson.
Be nice.
Be nice
Set an achievable goal.
and set an achievable goal. I love it. All right. That's going to wrap up our last minutes on CCTV with the class of 2022. Thanks for joining us.